My name is Art Bass. We're doing a study. I'm from UBC. We're doing a study and we're tracking the migrating Chinook salmon in the lower river. Yeah, there you're looking at mostly coho salmon. There are some Chinook in there, and some pinks, and some chum. Tag. Yeah, they have some of the fish have a radio tag implanted in them. We put it in there, and that's how we track them with this. Nope. No, this is just a recent. This is a small study focused on the kind of the stress from catch and release fishing and how that affects migration. So it's a pretty small distance. We're not tracking them all the way from the ocean. It's just from the lower river. Yeah. Yep. You get a signal in here that tells you. There's some over there in the raceway, but I haven't seen any in here yet. So they've already gone through this part.
Yeah, basically how it works is that we have fish coming in from the ocean that we have sent out to the ocean. So we raise them here in their freshwater stage, and then send them to the ocean. They grow out in the ocean, and then they return here again to spawn. They come up the river, so they're here available for the sport fishery, the commercial fishery, the native fishery. And then the rest that come in, we have available to spawn to keep the run going for the next time. Not tomorrow morning. No. What we'll do is those fish, they came in in the last 2 days actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that many. And what we'll do is we'll have we'll sort our fish on Tuesday, and then all the excess that we don't use go to a contract fish buyer, and they take the fish away. So they'll take the carcasses away. They'll take the marketable fish away. They take everything away.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the proceeds of that go to First Nations. No, see, we won't have any extra eggs because we only keep so much for ourselves, or so much brood stock, and then when we're ready to take the eggs, we don't take any more than we need, and in everything else that we don't use go to the contract, the fish buyer. They don't make any profit on it, and if they did, I think it would go back into the program. But yeah. Anywhere from 3 to 7 years actually. Yeah, so the big Chinooks, some of those I believe are probably 5-year-olds, but we don't really see a 6-year-old or 7-year-old, although they get that old, and they're 50, 60, 70 pound fish when they're that big. And but we get 30, 40 pounders, 45 pounders here. So around 4 or 5-year-olds, and they're all coming up the river, and they're all going. There's many going past the hatchery as well, right up to almost up to Chilliwack Lake, and they're spawning all the way along. Yeah. So there's a lot of natural spawn in the river, and then we supplement the run with. That's right. Yeah, the survival in the wild there, is much lower than in the hatchery. You could expect, from egg to returning adult, anywhere from 1 to 1.5% to maybe 3-4% survival. But then after that, and within the hatchery though, it goes up about 10% from there. So yeah. Okay. In the main entrance below, in the channel below there, they'll come in there and get salmon, lots. Well, they'll take what's coming up. We don't have a say.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they get to them before we do. Yeah.